Week of Love, Part 2. Sorry about the fan. It is a little bit unseasonably warm, this being winter. So I'm trying to keep an airflow constant throughout the house because the heaters here are forced heat and drier than molasses drier than a desert in the middle of summer. Or winter if you're in Antarctica, because that's also a desert. Anyway, this is the Week of Love, and as such, I started it kind of oddly, because I had a lot of things going on in my head, and wasn't really being all that kind to myself, and wandering through a bunch of different things, and kind of walking around in a bit of a wilderness. Somehow I made it through. Oh, sorry. Somehow I have vintage Madonna stuck in my head. That's not always so bad. But anyway. But that song is an interesting song to bring. Okay, so I've learned some things this week, and I've had to really work through them. What is love? And I apologize for the earworm, which I was trying so hard not to give people. And how do we handle the things that are negative or toxic towards us? And how do you combine the two? And a lot of people would say, well, you can't. If something is venomous, as in, because if it's poisonous, it means that you've ingested it. But anyway, so, but then you remember that there are ties that bind. And sometimes, as I've noticed, because we were kind of joking around, I went out with a friend who always helps put me into perspective. And we were kind of talking about the ties that bind in a slightly less serious way. The Habsburgs got involved. It was, anyway. I will cover the Habsburgs because epilepsy gets involved in their lives, and it's a fascinating and also horrific tale. So we will get to that. But also, wow. Okay, so one thing that kept on popping into my head as we spoke, and as I dealt with getting rid of the bad energy that I acquired through just a lot of crap, is that we are all one. We are all one body. What hurts us hurts others, which is why one of the biggest things that I am interested in as I do dietetics is also being a good steward for the family, for the land, and for the people, which we were discussing in one of our lessons, because it's, feeding yourself and treating yourself well, and also being a good steward towards the land and the animals. And I guess thanking them when we use them. When you shear the sheep, you are thanking him for his wool, and you are also helping him because wool gets heavier than achy double hockey sticks. The oils build up. It's awful. The poor dudes can look absolutely, horrific. I don't know why I'm talking about sheep shearing, but just stick with me here. Okay, so, and part of being a good steward is maybe you also have to be a good steward towards yourself. You are part of the land. You are part of the people. You are part of the heart. And maybe, even if you find someone absolutely atrocious, I had someone in my life years ago that wasn't great for me, that left me with a lot of bad memories, a lot of nightmares, and I still have some people that I've kind of, because of the fact that there were and are a lot of bad things and a lot of, I love you, but I know this isn't good for me. So having to deal with that, and maybe even having a few tears, even if you don't like the person, and even if you feel like posting the Rolling Stones sympathy for the devil as part of your grief process, that is fine, because grief is individual, and sometimes it's not going to be the same person by person, and it might not seem appropriate to some people, and that's okay. But the other thread, especially since it's the last week of Advent, it's not Christmas yet, which is, the baby's not in the manger yet, the 3 wise men are still on the way, still getting lost, Herod the Great is killing off the Hasmoneans, he's let's forget about Herod. We've talked about Herod on this channel a lot. I will maybe pop a couple videos of my Herod the Great monologues in an iCard. So anyway, what kept on popping into my head is not only being a good steward for the land, the people, the animals, and for myself, but that we are all one. And the song One Love by the marvelous Bob Marley, who in his own time, yes, he suffered, yes, he caused other people to suffer, he was not a perfect man, but he was he, like anyone, could be good as well as imperfect or behave badly. And I always had to think about that. Am I behaving badly? Or am I truly bad? And that goes with a lot of people. And so I'm basically, Advent is nearly over because Christmas Eve is coming. And that's when, and on Christmas, the 12 days of Christmas start. And then they end on the 6th for Three Kings Day. I just showed you the number 6. This is 3 for Three Kings Day. So basically what's helping me through a time where I don't know if I'm quite mourning a person who left this planet but in her time hurt people and damaged people, but I'm mourning the life that she could have been, and trying to forgive myself for well, let's just say that a lot of negative thoughts entered my head, and I have to admit that I still like the song Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones, but mainly just for itself and not as a message. And anyway, I recommend One Love by Bob Marley. Heck, I just recommend Bob Marley. I am a huge fan. I also like UB40 and was raised on a bunch of other reggae. Purists don't come for me. I know. And also, be a good steward for yourself. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. And of course, give back to the land and the people and the foods that you eat. And forgive yourself.